I think we're going to have about a 50% reduction in the delay here. So it'll be a big, big improvement.
Drivers, relief is on the way to this busy intersection.
We're at about 150 days a year right now. So to keep adding on to that calendar is challenging for the staff.
More events means more money in the local economy. Hello and welcome to this installment of Spotlight on Sparks. I'm your host, Adam Mayberry. Boosting the local economy through tourism is a big focus for the city of Sparks these days. And today, we'll look behind the scenes at building the city's special events calendar.
My favorite part is probably seeing it all come together. Seeing from the planning that you do, you can't really envision it till it actually gets on the street. But that's probably my favorite part, is seeing all the cookers lined up and all the smoke in the air and all the smells. That's probably my favorite part.
For John Esquaga's Nugget, the annual Best in the West Rib Cookoff is the highlight of summer.
There's a lot of people. The streets are really packed. Ribbers are selling ribs and pulled pork and everything. I mean, if you just go down and check out the street, it's full from 14th to Pyramid and back again.
It's a tasty time that's worth more than just good fun. This barbecue boosts the local economy.
There's a lot of excitement. We usually start getting room reservations pretty much the day after it ends. You know, people start booking. They know it sells out, so they want to get in and get the rooms they want.
Room reservations mean revenue. As hundreds of thousands of visitors come to Sparks for various special events, like the Rib Cook-Off, they spend money at local businesses. That economic stimulus is so important that the city of Sparks is making recruitment of such events a full-time job.
It takes a long time to plan. You have to recruit the sponsors, recruit the vendors, a lot of cold calls. There's just a lot of planning that goes into it. For example, when we do farmers market, the minute hometown Christmas is over, we might have a little lag time in December, but in January we start farmers market.
Farmers market and some other events are produced by the city. However, the Rib Cook-Off and some of the other larger events are hosted by sponsors.
It's definitely a huge impact to the Nugget. The restaurants see a lot of business. The casino definitely fills up. There's lots of people inside and outside, so there's usually a lot of people everywhere. The Nugget staffs about 1,600 employees, and I think every single one of those 1,600 employees works some part of Rib Cook-Off.
Putting on this massive meal involves some half-dozen city departments.
People at the table include environmental control or services. We have police, fire, public works with the electricians, and we have Parks and Rec, which is community service crews. They have, you know, all of those people are a part of the planning process.
Well, typically for Rib Cook-Off or Hot August nights, during the week I will have probably around 30 officers. As the weekend gets closer, Saturday and Sunday I'll have, I would guess, 45 to 50 officers on for those larger events. We have a variety of things. We have the horse patrol, we have bicycles, foot patrol. We also have observation officers that we usually put on top of the Silver Club to look down on the crowd.
City departments and the Nuggets marketing team start planning and logistics for this event a full year in advance, creating a close partnership between the two.
We plan for all of that. The health department, we work pretty closely with them, getting permits. We work with the city of Sparks really closely, making sure they know what's going on. The police department on road closures, the fire department on fire lanes. It's pretty much a citywide, Nugget-wide partnership.
And don't forget the all-important porta potties. Rows of them allow ribbers some relief and keep the city clean. Parking and moving traffic flow around the town are also planned ahead of time.
We usually meet about a month to 6 weeks out in front of the event, and then that's when we determine what all needs to be done as far as road closures and manpower and everything that goes on behind the scenes to make the event happen.
Sparks offers a packed calendar of special events, living up to its slogan, "It's happening here." The city wants to add more events to its calendar. If you have an idea for an event, Sparks wants to hear about it. Potential sponsors can pick up planning packages at the city's Parks and Recreation Department. A couple of other annual Sparks events have sports fans crying foul for charity. Two traditional Thanksgiving events are always a hit in Sparks. The first, the Turkey Shoot, is a basketball free throw contest held at the Alf Sorensen Center. Citizens are invited to compete. The winner gets a gift certificate for a free turkey. The other event is the annual Turkey Trot. This popular foot race is held yearly on Thanksgiving Day to raise money for local beautification projects. The race brings together walkers and runners of all ages and abilities. Participants choose either a 10K timed run or a 2-mile run-walk. Every runner and walker receives a commemorative sweatshirt. And all proceeds benefit Keep Truckee Meadows Beautiful. Holding a sandcastle competition inland might sound unusual, but it's all part of the plan to expand the city's special events calendar. For 2 days, the Sparks Marina was home to the city's first ever Sandcastle Soiree. The new event was a highlight of an activity-packed weekend at the Sparks Marina that also included food booths and a music concert. Professional sandcastle sculptors competed and put on quite a show.
So our job is to get a little water on every grain of sand, push it together, and if we do that, it'll stay solid for days.
The competition, however, wasn't just about the pros. Extra sand was also trucked in so amateurs both young and old could take part as well. So how do Sparks residents like the city's newest event?
It's wonderful. It's something very different to see, and the artists are great and really enjoy it.
Yeah, some of the sculptures are really cool here. It looks like they spent a lot of time working on them, and really neat to come out here and see them.
I love it.
New firefighting equipment keeps our community safer thanks to a generous donation from local businesses. Kinder Morgan operates the fuel farm next to Interstate 80, so the company has reason to be concerned about fire safety, especially for hard-to-put-out petroleum fires. The company has a long history of working closely with the Sparks Fire Department to ensure safety at its own facilities, but a recent major donation is improving safety for all Sparks residents. Kinder Morgan donated a state-of-the-art foam delivery system specially designed to fight fires with combustible and hazardous components. Mounted on an existing city fire vehicle, the city equipment is mobile and a huge improvement.
We were approached by the fire department, the city of Sparks, with an idea about how they might be able to better address situations here, and Captain Warner really took the initiative with the fire department and promoted the technology, and we were happy to participate. It provides the fire department with a great mobile capability to fight fires, petroleum fires, as efficiently as technology will allow wherever they may occur. So it's really a big plus for the city.
The new equipment blankets a fire with a combination of water and foam, suffocating the fire. The fire department's newfound mobility will allow it to respond to tanker truck crashes and other hazardous situations. Sparks firefighters say the new foam system buys them valuable time compared to older equipment.
It was aging, and it was a difficult system in the sense that it took a long time to set up. There were additional calculations that had to be done by the operator, hydraulic calculations in order to get the system to work correctly. There was also a lot of associated equipment that we were able to move out of the way because this system is so advanced. We don't need that equipment any longer. We have the capability of doing what we did before in a much quicker, easier fashion.
The new equipment will keep both firefighters and residents safer. Mayor Gina Martini attended the dedication event and thanked Kinder Morgan for its generous support and partnership. The successful project was 4 years in the making. The city of Sparks is saving taxpayers in excess of $40,000 a year thanks to a new solar panel project at the Golden Eagle Regional Park. The city of Sparks and NV Energy are celebrating the completion of a solar power project at the city's Golden Eagle Regional Park and Sports Complex. As part of the city's Sustainability Action Plan, Sparks has installed 200 kilowatts of solar power panels in the park area and the parking lot. The news is all good for taxpayers. Even installation won't cost the city much at all. thanks to NV Energy rebates totaling more than $995,000. The new solar panels will generate energy for stadium lights at Golden Eagle, reduce the city's electric bill by an estimated $40,000, and even reduce the city's carbon footprint.
Well, I think it's not only for my ward, but for the entire city. You know, we have a lot of land, and Sparks have a lot of sun in Nevada. So this was a perfect place to put it. And one of the things that people forget is it didn't cost taxpayers any money. We got grants for it, and also got a rebate from NV Energy. Today was to the tune of about $1 million. And also, Hamilton, the company that put it all together, they probably increased their employees by 75 or 80. So we put a lot of people to work also. So we kind of accomplished 3 different things, and I think it's just great for the city.
Are you looking for something fun and affordable to do right here in your neighborhood? Well, check out the many activities, events, and services provided by the city's Parks and Recreation Department. The opportunity to participate in recreational, social, and cultural outlets is critical to the quality of life in many communities. The Sparks Parks and Recreation Department provides programming for all ages and abilities, including sports leagues, camps, competitions, aquatics, arts, dance, community classes, senior outings, kids after and before school programs, activities for people with disabilities, special events, and much more. To view the Park and Recreation Department's seasonal activities guide or the city's special events calendar, visit us online at sparksitshappeninghere.com. Currently, it's one of the most dangerous intersections in town. Not for long, though. Big changes are coming for drivers and residents at the intersection of Pyramid Way and McCarran Boulevard. In 2008, voters approved RTC 5, which brought more local tax dollars into the regional transportation commissions for local transportation projects.
We leverage those local tax dollars with federal funds to get the most bang for the buck. Remember, every time you pull up to the gas pump right over here at the Chevron, you put 18.4 cents per gallon into the Highway Trust Fund that the federal government oversees. We're bringing that money back to the residents and taxpayers of Washoe County. Important for us to do that. We're doing it here.
Check out what the RTC is doing with the money. First, the traffic improvements to the most common movements during peak periods. Eastbound traffic on McCarran queues up in the left turn lanes for northbound Pyramid. Your tax dollars will widen the street and add a 3rd left turn lane. Next, they're going to put in a free right turn lane from southbound Pyramid to westbound McCarran. That way, traffic will always move. Here's Lee Gibson, Executive Director of the RTC.
This intersection continually ranks as one of the most dangerous intersections in Washoe County. It's also one of the most congested. We've been working for a very long time with the citizens, with the neighborhoods here, to come up with solutions that will work for everybody, and we've done that. We've come up with a design concept for here at Pyramid McCarran.
Changes here will include upgrades for alternative modes of transportation as well.
Actually, we'll be improving the sidewalks, we'll be improving the bike lanes along here. This will be a much friendlier pedestrian environment. People will be able to come here on their bicycles. There'll be areas, for people to come and recreate, and we'll want to make sure that we can accommodate. We think we'll actually have more people doing that with some of the land in the open space area, so we'll want to make sure we can accommodate that. So they will see bicycle paths and sidewalks here in the project design concept and scope.
And then there's planned lighting, landscaping, and sound wall improvements. Add in an expected 50% decrease in traffic delays, and there's something for every Sparks resident to like about the project.
So that's one of the first things you'll notice is the queues, as we call them, the lines, and the backups will be much shorter. The second thing that they'll notice, the residents are going to notice when the project's complete, will be the new open space area right along where we're standing right now, which will be a big improvement for both the aesthetics of the neighborhood as well as mitigating the sound from the road.
To get the job done, the RTC will need to buy out some local property owners. There are some 70 houses and 2 businesses currently in the right-of-way. The RTC director wants to assure every one of those property owners that they will not only be paid fair market value for their land, but made whole as well.
We make them whole. We will make you whole when you're relocated. It's not just about a fair market value. It's not that at all. We come in, We will pay you fair market value, but we also will deal with the issue of any mortgages. So if someone's underwater, we take care of that, and then we will move folks to homes of equivalent functional status. So if you're living in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, that's what you're going to go to. Help them find a new neighborhood. Help them get into a housing of equivalent status. In other words, if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, that's what you're going to go to. It's really a comprehensive package. It's not just about buying a home, and this is like almost, I would almost say it's analogous to maybe a corporation move. You know, your house is purchased, you're relocated, you're going to a home of similar type, and we take care of you. I mean, that's just the way it works.
The project tries to tread lightly on local businesses.
We've tried to keep most of the relocations to the east side of Pyramid. And the reason for that is, and this was sort of a decision of the board, we have a lot of commercial and retail and offices and jobs over here, and we really would like to keep those jobs intact.
Then consider the jobs that the project will create.
Our local construction companies are very active in our bidding program. They're very active with NDOT. I expect a lot of competition for this intersection. It's going to be a great construction challenge. It's going to be a great project for a construction firm to attach its name to. So I think we're going to see a lot of competition.
The well-planned project is even environmentally conscious, from zero-scaping to preventing tailpipe emissions from reducing idling time. That green thinking is bringing federal funding into the local project.
The federal category we're using is congestion mitigation air quality funds, which are specifically designed to help improve operations at intersections to reduce emissions from tailpipes. So that will be a big advantage for us.
The RTC encourages your input on the project and will hold several meetings and hopes to start buying property in the fall of 2012. Even with all the planned benefits, the real reason to improve the intersection remains the most important reason: saving lives.
Fatalities, safeties, this is one of the more challenging intersections from a safety standpoint in our region. Our board, the RTC, takes a proactive stance. We're getting ready to actually start a project. I call it the sister intersection. That's Virginia Street and McCarran. We're going to be starting looking at that intersection here very shortly.
Another road project, some 40 years in the making, will soon make it easier for drivers to cross Interstate 80 east of 395. Spotlight on Sparks continues its exclusive interview with RTC Director Lee Gibson on the final phase of the long-promised Southeast Connector.
And this is one of the RTC's, if not the RTC's largest project, probably since it's done the McCarran Loop. What we're going to do is we're going to connect, we're here at Sparks Boulevard. We're going to go along the east side here of the Meadows to really the south side of the valley, south side of the Truckee Meadows. We're going to connect all these industrial employment jobs we have up here with a lot of the places where folks live down around Damani Ranch.
A 6-lane connection from Sparks to Veterans Parkway in South Reno. There's just 5.5 miles and one bridge over the Truckee River left to build to complete a 9-mile regional arterial that's been in the works for 40 years and several RTC directors.
We're going to see the end of it. This is kind of transportation geekdom, but bear with me. When you look at the number of arterial streets that cross 395, that cross I-80 west of 395, there's about 13. When we look at the number of arterials that cross I-80 east of 395, there's 3. There's just a lack of connectivity east of 395 between Sparks and South Reno, the Damani Ranch area, and where we are here at Sparks Boulevard and I-80. There's a lot of people who live in this east of 395, a lot of jobs, a lot of shopping opportunities, even ways to get to UNR from here. And this road is really going to give us that high capacity link that we've so desperately needed for many, many years.
Sparks Councilman Ron Smith is the current chair of the Sparks Redevelopment Agency, chairman of the Regional Transportation Commission, and chairman of the Flood Control Project.
Every road that's been built in the Truckee Meadows over the past 20 years has been predicated on the fact that there would be a southeast connector. That's going to alleviate a lot of the traffic that now Interstate 80 and 395 carry. It's going to go directly down to Veterans Parkway and spots in between. So talk about relieving traffic around the area, that's exactly what it'll do.
Two levels of economic impact we'll have with respect to this project. First, the construction jobs, and we'll probably employ somewhere over 500 employees just on the construction at any given moment. But the other thing we have to remember is what this project's going to do is improve connectivity. We're going to make, we're going to be able to connect, again, like I said earlier, where people live with where people may potentially work. We're going to help improve travel time, so people won't spend as much time in their cars. That would leave them opportunities to perhaps add a shopping trip on to a trip between home and work, so they can spend money. The economy is driven by spending and saving and working. So anything we can do to improve that kind of connectivity and help people be able to do those types of things always improves the economy.
Like the Pyramid McCarran project, the Southeast Connector is designed with the environment in mind.
Now people say, oh wow, 6 lanes, that's a big facility. It is a big facility, but we're also going to have bicycle pathways and pedestrian pathways. We're going to have, we've got there's Steamboat Creek is out here. It's a little more than a ditch right now. But what we're going to be doing is restoring that creek back to its original stream function. We're going to make that stream curve again. It'll have its sinuosity back, and we're going to restore its hydrologic function.
If it doesn't flood, we live better. If it does flood, people don't realize that, just take our industrial center, if that floods again, it's going to be $1 billion loss down there.
When we do get a flood, our road and the improvements we're making are actually going to help facilitate the movement of water, but it's also going to help bring back wildlife.
Designs are required to take even air quality into account.
We're required under the Clean Air Act amendments of 1990 to make sure we show that our road projects contribute to improvements in air quality. And if we don't show that those projects improve air quality, we won't get the federal funds that the taxpayers here in Washoe County already pay to the federal government. We won't get those back. So we've got to do everything we can in our planning process to make sure our total environmental impact from our road projects improves air quality and leads towards us attaining the National Ambient Air Quality Standard. That's a very important mission of the RTC.
In addition to planning and building roads, the RTC also operates the ride and access bus systems. Gibson foresees the public transit routes that will eventually run through these fields.
Potentially with the Southeast Connector, we could start an intercity route out of Sparks to Carson City that'll give us better connectivity, faster travel times. So we're looking at the total picture of transportation all the time.
Bike paths, river restoration, sidewalks. Who knew designing a road was so complicated?
We've actually are part of a demonstration program to show sustainable highway design. And that's a real exciting thing from my perspective is at the RTC, because we really are at the cutting edge of roadway design. We're going to show how roadways not only accommodate vehicles, but how they accommodate pedestrians and bicycles, how they can improve access to recreational areas and restore the natural environment. And those are things that, as we go forward as a profession in transportation, we're going to be looking more to how we can improve the environment when we build a roadway. And this Southeast Connector is going to be that model that shows us how to do that.
New banners in Victorian Square honor our nation's troops. The banners feature names and photos of military service personnel from the Truckee Meadows. The banners hung at Victorian Square in front of the Cinemark movie theater and along Victorian Avenue between McCarran Boulevard and Pyramid Way. The project is a partnership between Sparks and Blue Star Mothers of America, a nonpartisan, non-political organization. Shortly after Veterans Day, the banners were taken down to be protected from the cold winter months and will be reinstalled in the spring. Blue Star mothers currently have or have had children honorably serving in the military. Their goal is to support their military sons and daughters while promoting patriotism. Donations from proud citizens throughout the area paid for the banners. And thank you for watching this installment of Spotlight on Sparks on Sparks Centennial Television, Channel 215. I'm your host, Adam Mayberry. To learn more about the city, visit us at SparksIt'sHappeningHere.com.